Hey folks, Training Tip Thursday here. And a couple of days ago, if you saw the post, we had some conversation about heel striking. And I said, well, you know what? I should probably talk a little bit about heel striking because heel striking gets a bad rap, and heel striking itself is usually not the problem. It's other things associated with the way that your foot strikes in general. So first, we got maybe the little sign. So cadence, heel striking are both kind of related. I'll talk about heel striking today. I'll talk about cadence next week. But in both cases, cadence and heel striking, they're not the goal. The goal is to have you thinking quick and light on your feet. It's all about being quick and light on your feet. I don't care what your cadence is. I don't care what your foot strike is. If you're not quick and light on your feet, you haven't hit the goal. So heel striking. So here's why heel striking doesn't matter. The biggest problem with heel striking is overstriding. Most people who overstride are heel striking. The problem isn't the heel strike. The problem is overstriding. So why is overstriding bad? So a couple examples I can give you. One you can visualize. The other one you can really go and try a little bit. So think of somebody when they're pole vaulting and they're racing forward and they plant that pole down. Well, as soon as that pole hits the ground, you can see the first thing that happens is the pole vaulter, they actually stop for just a brief instant. You can see that pole kind of shudder a little bit, and then they'll go flipping up and over and hopefully over the bar. Same type of thing happens when you overstride. If you're taking too long of a stride and your foot hits the ground, and you almost always heel strike when you're doing that because it's pretty hard to overstride and do a midfoot strike. So when that happens and your foot hits the ground, you won't necessarily feel it, but you will actually stop momentarily, which is bad. You're trying to go forward. Your bones will feel that little bit of shudder, just like you see with the pole vaulter, and then you've got to take your body weight and lift yourself up and over your foot. So it takes a lot more energy to run, and you get a lot more tired. Here's a way that you can prove that to yourself a little bit, is go up to a set of stairs or a curb or something like that, put your toes right at the riser or the flat bar, and then step back, say like maybe 10 or 12 inches, which is about what your typical stride is going to be. And then just step up and down on that step or curb a few times, and you'll feel that that's a relatively effortless thing to do. Now get back down and back up so you're, say, 18 inches away, and do that same thing. And you can feel how you have to lift yourself up and over. That's what happens when you overstride. So overstriding is the problem, not the heel strike. If you are heel striking and you are heel striking fairly close to the body and center of gravity, that's not a very big deal as long as you're landing lightly and being able to get off the foot right away. So right after this video, I will post a couple of pictures showing some different heel strikes and some comments on those that maybe will help make that a little bit more sense. But again, the big thing is you want to be light on your feet. So I don't care if it's heel strike, midfoot, landing light on your feet. Another example for landing light on your feet. Have you ever been running and you can hear the runner behind you coming? Boom, boom, boom. You can just hear their feet landing. That's not that light step. Now they could be forefront, they could be midfoot, doesn't matter. They're not being light on your feet. So when you think about your stride, think about it being light, think about it being quick, think about having that short stride in the front, nose before toes. You've heard me say before, there are drills that you can do can help make that make some sense as well. But as I said, I'll post a couple pictures showing some examples. And if you got questions, fire away in there.